Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. Today I want to make a little bit of a review of my league start in 318 Sentinel League with my Chaos Dot Occultist, mainly Essence Drain Contagion, which carried me all the way to the 4 Void Stones, the 115 of 115 map completion. I think the only one that's missing is like, 5 Atlas passive 3 points for which is basically the last couple invitations, the easier ones. I've done the feared. Well, I actually got a carry for feared, to be honest, but you know, doing the feared on like day 3 of the league is kind of rough, and you probably need a very specific build for that. But anyways, I want to talk about how was my build, what was like the gearing part, how hard was it, and so on. So as I said, I mainly picked Essence Drain Contagion because I just love the skill. I know it's not really S tier anymore. I would say it's decent, but I still had a very good time. It's very like solo self-found. It's even hardcore viable. I think overall is a very strong league starter, despite the fact that of the current meta build, which is like EA Ballister, Skelly Mages, what is it, the not Shockwave, the weird Trapper Miner thing, you know, with the god damn it, I forgot the name. Yeah, this weird thing, Seismic Trap, I think it was, right? And there is other very good league starters, but I still picked Essence Drain Contagion just because I have faith in my league starting abilities, which usually sucks. I haven't even found an Exalted Orb, but still could manage to acquire quite some gear with, yeah, my character, or at least with my kind of RNG. I think my gear worth is about, I'd say 20, 25 Exalts. Round about this in like the first 3 days solo play, just Alk and go and like finishing the Atlas. So let's start about day 1. Yeah, rough. I mean, if you started the league on the same day as I did, which was exactly on the league start, you're gonna know how the feeling was trying to fight an SS monster in the climb and dying 10 times because this guy is just either one-shotting you or has so much life, and you with like your 1 or maybe a 2 link. What did I have, like Blight and like I don't know, like Arcane Search or something, right? Where you have like on level 3, 4. It was brutal. Like, I don't know how often I died through the first 2 or 3 acts, and I think I stopped the first stream on like act 5, so I was like start of the act 6, right? Which is fine. I'm not stressing myself, no problem. League start for me is like 10 p.m, so I stopped the stream at like 4 in the morning or something. It was okay. Then starting day 2, my plan was to go into maps and progress into the Atlas, or at least start to do the first maps and see how it goes. I think I had like around about a 50 death until I killed the Kitava in Act 10, and I think, was it good? Overall, I would say I did not have any issues going through that, right? I mean, all the monsters were super rough, all the Archnemesis modifiers and so on. I think if you watch YouTube in terms of PoE, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, almost every content creator is flaming GGG for like, how can you do this? This is so hard, this is so bad, this is bad for the game and whatnot. I personally, this is just my personal opinion, I don't mind the difficulty of it. I actually enjoyed it because it was something different, you know? It's not like close your eyes and oh my god, 5 hours until maps, it's boring, blah blah blah, all this the same shit over and over again. No, it was actually very hard, and I did like that. But I definitely agreed to nerf it because I would say, for my personal experience, right, I'm an advanced Path of Exile player. I do know how the game kind of works. I have like over 11,500 hours in the game. If I die, I kind of have ideas to fix those kind of things, whether it's like the defensive mechanics, like getting indetermination, like all these kind of gimmicks that you'll know over the course of playing the game to fix it, right? If this is your first league or your second league, you're lost. You have no idea what's going on, and I always say, if you have 1,000 hours in PoE, congratulations, you just finished the tutorial, now start to learn the game, basically, right? And everybody's laughing about that until they start playing the game, and after 1,000 hours, they come back to me and say like, bro, I have 1,000 hours and I know nothing about the game. And I said, yeah, I told you, right? So in the position, if you're new to the game, if you're a new player or a returning player that skipped a couple of leagues, this is horrible. I don't want to even imagine how the hardcore solo self-found players felt like dying like 10 characters and didn't even reach maps, you know? So for all of that, I totally agree, nerf that shit, this is not good for the game. But just for me, as a personal softcore trade player that is an experienced Path of Exile player, I did like the difficulty. Either way, I think when we talk about Sentinels, I think they are a bit in a weird spot. Most people don't care about it. I got mine actually up to power 30. I'm currently still using all three, but it's always risky. Like, I have an insanely tanky build, you know, like triple max 90 all res, spell block capped with an Aegis, like 30,000 armor and stuff, you know. My build is super tanky, right? And every time, like, I try to use the Sentinel, so the way I use it is not the right way, but the way I use it, I open a Breach, a Legion, any, like, League mechanic, any, like, super density map, and then I go activate all three Sentinels, the screen lights up blue, and all the monsters are insanely tanky and do shit tons of damage, right? But I still use it. I'm a softcore player. I don't mind. I paid for 6 portals, so I can use 6 portals, right? But other than that, I think the main focus of this league, in my opinion, is not really focused around Sentinels. It's more what can we achieve with all the new content, with all the new keystones that we have, with like singular focus or the stream of consciousness or all the uber pinnacle bosses that I haven't even tested yet, you know. I think that's gonna be sick at some point. Good. Going forward, I went into maps. I was life based. Everything was fine. I had like some super easy gear. Once I started mapping, I invested like 1 or 2 chaos per item slot to get my res cap, to get like this super early stuff. I think I bought a chaos wand with like a crafted chaos dot multi or something, and I had no problems whatsoever. I have to say, this is not a high DPS build. This is not a build where you just randomly one-shot bosses or anything like that. So no, when I say I had an easy time, yes, and then it took me like 5 or 10 seconds to kill a map boss, but it was fine, since we know that the rare packs are actually the end bosses, right? But overall, pretty good experience. On day 2 of the league, I did find a couple of things, still no Exile, but I found a Void Battery. I bought myself a Viridis Veil and a Shafts that we linked with like 500 fusing, so pretty lucky actually. And this was the turning point where I said, okay, I want to go low life. I had the linked shafts before, but I did not have the currency to convert my character into a low life build because I would be super squishy, you know? And then after some time, going into the low life area, getting this Pain Attunement for more spell damage, it felt pretty decent, and I went up into yellow tier maps, into high tier maps, and I spent an overall, I would say, less than 50 chaos total for buying maps to fulfill all the 115 Atlas things. And then on day 3, it was basically time to do all the void stones and everything, and unlocking all the favorite map slots to now say, finally, I have unlocked everything, or the majority. I can now work towards farming currency and making or trying out new different builds, right? There will be a build guide for this entire character tomorrow, so after this, if you want to take a closer look at my league start, or maybe you want to start this on like console, I think the league start is this weekend. But overall, I had a good experience. I think the DPS point of view of this character is pretty low, and this is the point where I need to focus right now. The thing is, like, usually I go for damage, and if I see that I'm dying too often, then I opt in more defense. Other than this league, I went all out on defense, as you can see on my character stats. And now I'm adding more and more damage. I'm still missing cluster. I just bought a large cluster. I'm still missing medium clusters. I have no Watcher's Eye. I have not an Empower 4. I have no Awakened Gems. It's like, I have just a Pressive Chayula, which is just like a mediocre item. I definitely want to get like some plus skill levels and so on. Maybe dot multi on my gloves. Even with the Searing Exarch Implicit, I think it was this, with the additional dot multi, so you can squeeze out quite some DPS. But build guide is tomorrow, where I'm giving you hints about how to making this character even stronger. But yeah, so now we're here on day 4. Basically, it took me 3 days this time to finish this entire thing without bothering with the Feared. As I said, I bought a carry for that to unlock the last one. And now day 4, I just grinded currency. I think I made like 10-15x today just by randomly mapping. I made a simulacrum yesterday. I think I got like wave 23. But overall, I think for a 3-day project, it turned out quite massive. And now we're on to farming more and more things. So I think Sentinel League in this current state, for me personally, is pretty good. I really like the adjustments of all the Atlas passive trees to go further down in your Atlas strategies. And I think my most favorite part is this one over here with blocking league mechanics. You know, you really have the control. Oh, abysses. For me personally, I hate abysses, you know, because you go from the left side to the right and then you spawn the Abyss, and obviously it's not going in the direction where you want to go anyways. No, it's always going backtracking, you know, and following this shit like, whatever, you know. I don't have Abysses anymore in my maps. Big plus. Then, Expedition, yeah, questionable. Sacred Grove, also questionable. I just don't like it, that's it. Same with Ritual, same with Blight. No more Cassia in my map. It's really good, you know? And the more things you block, the higher chance is that you get one of the things that you want to have. For me, for example, Breaches. With Legion, with, what is that, Delirium, and I took all the Delirium notes, I took a bunch of Breach notes. Actually, I ran Legion quite a lot, but my Essence Drain, my Contagion doesn't have really too much AoE, so I cannot one-shot the Legions yet, right? Especially since I'm usually popping Sentinels and I'm running tier 16 maps. My damage is too low to one-shot Legions, so if you have higher gear, it should be an absolute pleasure to do a Legion with an Essence Drain build, right? But as I said, we're on day 4 now. It's time for the second build of the league. That means tomorrow or after this video, I'm going to scrap everything. Then just, yeah, make everything into currency and see what the next build is going to look like. What is the next mapping strategy? Do I'm actually going to farm currency? Or depending on how much currency I get, I would assume that I get easily like 30-40x out of it. Yes, I said I spent like 15 or 20x on total, but that is like early on, you know. We linked the shaft super easy. I got this one very, very cheap, although it's 100% perfect. I crafted some of the gear myself where I know how much I spent, so yeah, a couple days later, after you bought your items, they are usually worth more because more players get into this area because they don't have really time to play 12-15 hours a day like I do, right? And then we're gonna see where the journey will go, or if we are actually going to try to farm the uber pinnacle bosses. But I saw, or at least I didn't let myself spoiler on it. I'm gonna be honest, I know people that tried them, I know people that beat them in standard. They wanted to tell me how it works and stuff, but I don't care. I want to go in blindly. But the thing is, then I probably have to make like an insane boss killer, or yeah, as I said, I have to like make up my mind what is going to be the next build. But I keep you guys updated. As I said, the build guide for this build will be uploaded tomorrow. And yeah, thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.